Okay, we are on the ground right now in Telskuf. It's an ancient city and it is basically 100% Christian over here. Some 1,400 people lived in this town before it was invaded by ISIS, not once, but twice. And while ISIS only spent a grand total of 8 days in this town, a really small amount compared to neighboring Christian towns like Batnaya, the amount of sweeping devastation is just crazy. You can see on a lot of the houses, and by the way, I don't know what you think about Iraq, but I was picturing small little almost Bedouin-like living. That's not the reality on the ground. I mean, one look at some of these homes and they're almost palatial. This is, you know, a middle class, upper middle class sort of neighborhood, and all of the Christian homes have been all but destroyed. Many of them turned to rubble. All of the windows that I can see with the naked eye completely smashed up. You can see that many of the rooms even were torched. Now, what's so amazing about this town is that Christians are slowly starting to come back in. After the Peshmerga forces, the Kurdish army, liberated this town, thank God the ISIS had spent such a short amount of time in this town because they were unable to booby trap it and to lace it with IEDs. So once that meant that the sweep could happen earlier, people could move back in earlier. But out of the 1,400 people that once lived here, roughly 700, 750 have come back. We don't know where the other ones are, whether they've taken off for other lands, remain in refugee camps, or God forbid, are no longer with us. So it's been absolutely amazing being on the ground, and let me tell you a bit of what we're doing here. I should also mention as I walk over that this town actually acted as a front line and then a no man's land between the Peshmerga on one side and Daesh, ISIS on the other side towards Batnaya, where they occupied for years, and that's why Christians can't move into that town. I want to show you a little bit of what we're doing here. As you can see, we're helping folks on the ground get set up. You guys can wave. Hello. And so the Rebel.media, we've in good faith brought enough basic staples for some 750 families. And sure, I'm just in the middle of taping something right now. Everyone wants to say hello. Hey. Just a second, guys. People are so friendly here. I love being in a Christian town. I love being able to wear short sleeves here and not have to wear a burqa or gloves, as I've seen other women in nearby towns wear. Yeah, and then there are also air conditioners being handed out to folks on the ground. I talked to one official today on the ground who said this is the final chapter for Christians in Iraq. He said he has absolutely no hope that peace will come to the land even if ISIS goes away. He says he's preparing for ISIS 2.0. Just like before ISIS, Christians on the ground had to deal with Al-Qaeda. He knows that there is another group in the wings after ISIS is gone, and he says that their numbers have plummeted so much that after this, there will be no more Christians in Iraq.